in years because it was too expensive. But what was she saving her money for? She wasn't going anywhere. Her phone pinged as she sat in her car, unwrapping the pack. "Did you see?" Hunter asked. "You down?" She looked online. In the final minutes of the final show of his final farewell tour, Terry stood on the edge of the stage and announced that he'd had so much fun that the tickets had sold so fast that so many more people needed to hear the message of Koffin that in September, in the desert outside Las Vegas, he was holding Hellstock 19. "Fuck Burning Man," he shouted. "This is burning in hell, man." Melanie sold the cigarettes as Lucy's in the Pappy's parking lot to drunk frat boys for $1 each. She made $20 off her $5 investment and started piling up her pennies again. She would not miss this. Even Greg got into it this time. The night he told her he'd gotten a part-time job at the GameStop in Morgantown, she did everything he wanted in bed. It felt like a honeymoon. She felt like his partner. She felt reborn. She had to tell Hunter. "Can't take your tickets," she messaged him, explaining that she and Greg were getting their money together, that they were moving out west together, that they were staying together. She expected Hunter to shut her down, but instead he texted, "Good for you. Commitment, integrity, respect." Melanie almost cried. Hunter insisted that he buy her and Greg 2 tickets while they were still available, since they were selling out fast. "Thank you," she messaged. "Pay you back. Promise." The lineup for Hellstock 19 looked insane. With 2 stages to fill, any band that had an edge, any act that was at all heavy, got booked. The original Woodstock was all about hippies humping in the mud. Woodstock 99 was a disaster, where everything got set on fire. Hellstock 19 promised to combine both those events together into an apocalyptic end-times party. All the bad press from Koffin's farewell tour only got everyone even more hyped. In Vegas, a truck full of rednecks had thrown a beer can out their window at some Koffin kids in corpse paint heading to the show. One of the kids had a .22, and he shot at the truck as it drove away, leaving the driver blind in one eye and with a plate in his skull. In L.A., a woman was attacked in the Rose Bowl parking lot, but rescued by a group of passing Koffin kids who beat the perpetrator nearly to death. The guy was still in a coma 1 week later. But then the Koffin kids dragged the sobbing woman out from under the car where she was hiding. One of them had a pair of scissors. They sliced her tongue in 2, right down the middle. 3 of them were arrested. One of them hung himself in the holding cell while waiting for bail. He was 14 and shouldn't have been in there in the first place, but the cops had thought he was older. His parents were suing the LAPD. The other kids were going to trial the weekend after Hellstock 19. All that just made ticket sales fly faster. Within a week of Terry's announcement in Las Vegas, Hellstock 19 tickets were taken offline. By then, 440,000 tickets had sold, 10,000 more than planned. Out of all those tickets, 2 of them were earmarked for Melanie and Greg. Hunter became Melanie's life coach. He messaged her at 5 a.m. to make sure she was out of bed and doing her Fiverr jobs before work. She signed back up for all the doubles she could pull and sent Hunter her Pappy's schedule so he could message her inspirational quotes during her shift. "The path of most resistance is the one leading uphill." She bussed massive trays. She pulled pictures faster than anyone. She turned tables like a motherfucker. Pain is a 4-letter word the weak use to get out of doing what must be done. She popped aspirin. She drank coffee. She rubbed Tiger Balm into her aching wrists. "Throw me to the wolves and I will wind up leading the pack." She ignored the guys who pressed their boners against her when the crowd got packed in butt to gut. She smiled at the ones who said, "Smile, beautiful." She did fake shots with the ones who said, "That butt."